Hey everybody, Greg Sharp, Inside Armwrestling. We are live here in the studio, bringing the new program to you here each week. And folks, what a great program we have today. We are going to talk about World Series of Arm Wrestling. Yes, it is near and dear to my heart, but yes, we're going to talk about World Series of Arm Wrestling. Now that the World Series of Arm Wrestling has all of their flyers out, we want to kind of recap where we're going to be, how you guys can get involved, and what are the next steps with World Series of Arm Wrestling. So as we head over to the computer, our World Series of Arm Wrestling Instagram, folks, first off, thank you so much. We are still growing. We are at 871 followers. It's a very slow but steady growth. We love it. People are integrating in. You guys are certainly working with us to help build us, and we appreciate it. But if you go to the World Series of Arm Wrestling Instagram page, you're going to see a slew of flyers. And let's start talking about our start to our finish of the qualifying season. Many of you know we already had Canada and Kane Hemsing up in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, had his first event back in February. We've got the Canadian team coming down in November. Secondly, now we are set for our regional events here starting on June 29th. We are at Antone's Italian Eatery. Why Antone's Italian Eatery is so important, guys? Obviously, because Jamie Sheldon owns it. Jamie Sheldon, who has been an ambassador to the world of arm wrestling and is our athlete director here, the World Series of Arm Wrestling, is going to host our kickoff as well as a grand opening of his location. Super excited to be at Antone's Italian Eatery. From there, we are heading to a new, but still the same location in Fort Worth. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. We're still with our friends Keith, Fred, and Steve, who own PRs and the Thirsty Armadillos. But we are now at their new location, Co. Wetzel's Riot Room in Fort Worth. Super location. Let me tell you something. Upscale, big stage. Just certainly a great place to have an event. Super excited to have this new location involved. And listen, you got a name like Co. Wetzel. That's a big-time country music store. So we are super happy with the trajectory of which our Fort Worth event is going. From there, we've made a switch. And that switch is for many reasons. We've talked about it a couple of times. I've talked about it in lives on the internet. But our Miami location, unfortunately, was unable to come through this year. We thank them for all their efforts and their interest. But we have now moved to Jacksonville, North Carolina, right outside of Camp Lejeune. We are going to be at Blackheart CrossFit and Powerlifting, home of XFS MMA fighter Alan Bowes. Alan has brought us to his gym and location. And let me tell you something, folks. It's a big location. It's about 15,000 square feet. He is the premier CrossFit and MMA studio out in that Raleigh, North Carolina, Jacksonville area. And we're just super happy to have him on board with us. And he's likewise as happy. That will also kick off our military branch division, which we are super, super, super excited to announce our interaction with the military, not only the Marine Corps, but all the branches of the military, Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Navy, even the space program is part of the military umbrella now. So if you are an active military enlisted or officer, anyone who's serving our country in a capacity of being an active military duty, we invite you to our military series. It is a one weight class, one bracket double elimination, and we hope to really start to find who might be the best arm wrestler across the country within the U.S. military. Will it be the Marines? Will it be the Navy? Will it be the Army? Will it be the Coast Guard? Will it be the Space Force? I don't know. If it was for my son, a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, he would definitely say the Marines will take this home. But only one thing will tell us that, and that is time. We're super excited to start that military division. And we'll talk more about that on Inside Arm Wrestling over the time in which it starts to really ramp up and roll out. From there, we head to Atlantic City, folks. We've already got some promos out there for Atlantic City. We are at the Bally Casino. It's called The Yard. It is one of their premier sports bar in the basement of the hotel. And when I say basement, it's not really the basement, it's the ground floor. The lobby is the first floor. The actual floor that goes out to the boardwalk and to the beach is where the yard is. It is amazing, folks. Peter and Christina have done just an amazing job to give us an opportunity to be there. They've encouraged us to bring back the finals, and really that'll be up to the participation in New York, whether or not we keep it on the West Coast or we head it to the East Coast, maybe even Texas. We've talked about that. But we are at the yard. We're super excited. It is just an amazing location, middle of the summer, and I know that we're going to have a bunch of links for hotel rooms there as well. From there, we head out to Kansas City. We are going to Chickies and Pete's, another Bally Casino location. It is in the heart of Missouri in Kansas City, where we will be having our next regional event hosted by Ryan Johnston and his team out there. Super excited to get to the Midwest. Lots of great pullers. As a matter of fact, I kind of feel as if the Midwest may be our biggest location, but only time will tell. From there, we head to Salt Lake City, from St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, to Salt Lake City, Utah, where we will have our final event, a regional qualifier. Just Ogden is about 25 minutes north of Salt Lake City. I like to say Salt Lake City because that is the main hub of where you're going to want to fly into if you're going to qualify there. But it's actually at the Ogden, Utah area. It's at the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Justin Green has put together a great location. Very, very big location, open wide, great for filming, inside, air conditioned, and we'll have all ages at that event. Unlike last year, in which we had it at a singular bar, the Rainbow Saloon was a great location for us, but folks, unfortunately, they have to obey the laws of Utah, and 21 and under were not allowed. However, this being more of a restaurant and a fraternal organization, they have the ability to have and host anyone under 21 as long as they're not by the bar. The bar will be partitioned off, so that way it'll be 21 and older in that area, and then for the rest of our viewers, they'll be able to be out in the tables and the chair area enjoying the event. From there, folks, it is a coin flip. We're going to coin flip this. I really think that we're still going to be in San Diego, but it's really going to be based upon participation. I think this is the way to do the World Series of Arm Wrestling. We want to bring the money to where our best turnout is. I think it's only fair that way. So we have opened it up for an event-filled participation value, I guess is the best way of saying it. Wherever we find the most participation in that area, that final is going to come to their area, and the money is going to come there as well. So the best thing that you guys can do in order to be able to secure your position in the finals, as well as keep the travel costs down, show up. Encourage all of your teammates to show up, because we are going to go where we are most wanted this year. And certainly Riverside wants us bad. So don't be upset. Again, if Riverside shows up once again in great numbers, as they've done for the first 2 years. But the guys from New York have certainly said that they are looking to bring the masses in. And after a great winter blast with, I think, 566 entries from what I read, albeit they have a lot more classes, and they do a amateur, a semi-pro, and a pro class. So they have another division in there. But ultimately, that's a lot of athletes that showed up. They may be taking the World Series finals back to Atlantic City in November as well. And the best way for you folks to stay active and in the know, obviously following us on World Series of Arm Wrestling on Instagram is the best way. Certainly following me on Instagram, following the Facebook page for World Series of Arm Wrestling. But if you go to armwrestlingseries.com, and if you click over to events, you will see in the events location brackets all of our events, all of the flyers, all of the information that you need for the events right there at your fingertips. You can also see our YouTube videos. You can see all of our Inside Arm Wrestling videos. You can see where Locked In Loaded is streaming. You can see athletes, our staff, our supporters, our rules. ArmWrestlingSeries.com is where you want to go in order to find out all the information up to date, and that way you stay ahead of the game. And folks, this has been another great edition of Inside Arm Wrestling with Greg Sharp. Look to continue to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell on YouTube, and follow us as we continue to develop into the premier news show of arm wrestling. Folks, if you like these stories and you want to see more, please hit the like button and subscribe to our page. Also hit the notification bell underneath the video so that way you're notified every time a new video comes out. And if you're on social media, specifically Instagram, go to the World Series of ArmWrestling Instagram page. Please follow it. We'll try to follow you back, but it'll keep you up to date with all of the news and events in the world of arm wrestling.